apologize. I think I've coughed every day this week to begin with this. Good morning, beloveds. It's springtime. The pollen is high and my allergies are like, hello. Like, my allergies never quite go away, but in springtime and in the fall, they're extra. So, all right. So we are doing the Voice Celestial. We are in book 2. We are in the voice of the aged masters. And so let's do the housekeeping and get on with it, because today's a little bit longer. Like, yesterday was literally part of a page. Today is a bit longer. So actually, I think this one might be up to 6 pages, but it's not long enough to split into 2. So we're going to do it in 1. All right. So what are the housekeeping? It's simply me reminding you that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. The website is creativelife.org. The email, the constant contact email, is info@creativelife.org. It's 1 email a week. It tells you what's going on for the week and the month. The hot links are hot. It says click here now. And nobody will get your email. It's a blind CC. So, please feel free to do that. The social medias are that we do not monetize our social medias. We don't want to deal with the ads any more than you do. So what we ask you to do is go like, subscribe, share, follow, comment, because that bumps us in the algorithms, and we'd appreciate that. And we are Creative Life Spiritual Center or Creative Life Spark, depending on which platform you're on. And I am the running Rev Ryan on the platforms that I am on. So there is that. Okay. Yeah. I think that's all the commentary I have today. The weather's been interesting for the last couple of days, and I don't know what it's going to do today. Like, it wasn't supposed to rain yesterday, really, and it did. And now today, we were supposed to have thunderstorms. Not so much. I don't know what's going on with the weather. Okay, so we are on chapter 7. We are doing the Buddha Enlightened. I just wanted you to see the picture because it's really cool. And this looks like it's a conversation between the Wayfarer and the presence. So, interesting. Because we haven't heard much from the presence lately. Mostly just the Wayfarer talking about what he saw. Okay, chapter 7. Buddha, the Enlightened, the Wayfarer. How can I, being man, describe the scene when Buddha came, a demigod, to place his gifts upon the altar of the ages? How it seemed the great Melchizedek himself was moved, and what the presence said to me. The presence. From prince to pauper, from mendicant to God, the romance of a soul who claimed no soul, no primal entity, yet taught, as none so well has taught the way to grow a soul. In this is all of Buddha told. Who knows it not, knows not what the Buddha gave mankind. How dread the fate of faiths, how dead the soul of India until he came. The song celestial and the Vedic joy in life, snuffed out by witchcraft and astrology. The ancient Brahmic lore degenerate, and then he came. Gautama's son was heard beating the drums of ambrosia, yet made no claim to be the Buddha, nor was called such by them until he passed beyond. The Wayfarer. Then I beheld the panoramic shake, and scene by scene I read his life and works. I looked across well-watered fields of rice to the peaks of the Himalayas against the clear blue Indian sky, and on the banks of Lumbini, flowing quietly, I saw a garden under satin trees. And there had Matna Maya stopped to rest. And there she brought a Raja's son to birth, heir to Gautama's wealth and royalty. The shifting scene portrayed a buoyant youth, a charming sportsman, living handsomely with his beloved wife and infant son, yet sore distressed by unsolved problems of existence and the sight of suffering, and broken age, disease, and loathsome death. Then came the day he saw a wanderer, who walked serene and dignified among the throng. I, too, will be a wanderer, he thought. That night he bid his servant go, prepare a mount, and giving soft farewell to sleeping wife and babe, he rode away to Anoma, and here took pause upon its sandy banks, cut off his long and waving hair with his own sword, bid his servant Chana take it with his rings and jeweled ornaments back to his wife. Then, seeking out a jungle cave, he lived for 6 long years in penitence and pain, in hope of deliverance from grief of mind and tortures of despair that sprung from ignorance and doubt of human destiny, until his fame was spread like the sound of a great bell hung in the canopy of Indian skies. But it did not avail. One day his frail and weakened frame collapsed. He fell as dead among the wreckage of his hopes of a deliverance by way of suffering. Then he began to eat, and straightly his disciples fell away. In full despair of learning life from death, he turned his thoughts towards home, but rallying, he sat himself to meditate within the shadow of a fig or bow tree, where in agony he wrestled with his doubts until he won to victory and for himself obtained nirvana from that day. The Wayfarer continues. I was in vision once again, and lo, before my psychic sight appeared in view the altar of the ages, and I saw the Buddha standing there, surrounded by a host of witnesses. I knew him not at first among the sacred throng, for I had seen him only as a prince, or in squat figures cast in bronze, or carved from jade or ivory. False images of some false god, I thought, and passed them by, though I was vaguely touched by their serenity. I heard him speak in deep and bell-like tones, which mark the avatar, discoursing on his concept of the soul, his one sure key to open wide the door and simplify what might have been complex. To sum it up, my doctrine of the soul is this. There is no soul, no fixed, unchanging entity, but embryo unfolding endlessly. It is not being, but becoming, like a river's flow, a changing stream of consciousness, which deepens and expands and moves through time into eternity. But since it is in change, becoming leads to difference, and difference must lead to dissolution. Both thought and form are in a constant flux, so that no moment's me can ever repeat itself. Impermanence exists in all and in thyself. Then is man doomed? Inquired a follower. For if all things at length dissolve, and if the wheel of change forever spins, there can be no escape from karmic law, I think. Buddha. Man cannot change the law, but he can change the sequences. The noble eightfold path will lead to his emancipation, for he who fills the stream of consciousness with noble truths and love shall cause its depth of water to run clear. He shall be held from pains of guilt, which dying out will set him free to enter to nirvana. The Wayfarer. Then did I hear such truths as Plato taught. After centuries, for Buddha first conceived and gave the science of mind, that source of good or ill lies in the heart and in the consciousness, and joy or pain in life to come rests in the purity or guilt of each who lives. Man has his choice. How wondrous were thy words! I thrilled to hear thy deep and loving tones, and gave a prayer of gratitude that I had learned the law and so could understand. Buddha speaks. There are three basic sins: sense and ill will, and worst of all, stupidity. The sin which cannot be forgiven between the two extremes, sense and asceticism, lies the middle path, which leads to wisdom, peace, and to nirvana, named the Eightfold Paths: right views and aspirations, speech, conduct, mode of livelihood, right effort and right mindfulness, and last of all, right rapture. I do not teach suppression of desire, but of a mind unwavering and free of evil thoughts and speech, void of offense, while every day suffusing vicious men with rays of loving thought, and from this plane include the whole wide world with thought of love, far-reaching, great, unmeasured, void of all ill will and anger. He who cultivates a heart of love towards all the world is wise. To fail is sign of his stupidity. For love will hold him to right conduct on his path, and he can meet each change and all vicissitudes with a mind serene. Such are but phantoms, shadows cast by his own ignorance, wise in the Eightfold Path. To this I now make known 5 hindrances: a lust for worldly things, corrosion of the mind through wish to hurt a living thing, the sloth of willful ignorance, and fourth, a fretful, worried consciousness which finds no place for peace, and last, a mind that, like a boat at sea, is pitched about by waves. Once more, I say, you are the cause that change you to the wheel, the rounds of birth, decay, and death. But karma is not endless pain. It can be endless bliss and start today. Nirvana is the dying out of false desires that lead again to suffering. You need no more return upon the slow revolving of the circuits you create for your undoing. He who seeks to find some greater soul to pay his debts will still remain a debtor, but he can free himself who will destroy the power of ignorance through knowledge and pursuit of truth. Break through the dream of nescience which doth breed illusion, since Mother Maya is the womb in which it generates, for all thought is germ, and it takes form for good or ill by patterns you have set. Nirvana waits the hour, the day, or the eternity when you shall cast aside false knowing, and through enlightened mind shall free yourself from bondage to the whirling wheel. Disciple, of all thy precepts, which is the most to be desired? Buddha. This I have often defined, that man should seek for others' happiness, he seeketh for himself. The Farer. I sensed the trembling of the screen as though the stage were being set for the last scene. I seemed to hear the Pali poet's song of love raised to a cosmic plane, yet soft, attuned to harmonies inspired by the seer, who made no claim to deity, but arahatship, a state of worthiness, of which they sang, O islands midst the floods, O holy city, further shore, O home of peace, the end of suffering, O joy supreme, this is the goal of goals. And then the last great words of Buddha softly fell. Be lamps unto yourself, and seek ye not a refuge in that which lies beyond yourself. Hold fast to truth, and go ye forth to teach the way. Set out the higher life in its fullness and its purity. Teach men to seek salvation, where alone it can be found, within themselves. Behold now, I exhort you, brethren, that you yourself work out your own salvation with all your diligence. And there we are. That is Buddha. And actually, it's a fairly comprehensive summary, which could go in far more detail. But he said a couple of things that just really blew me away. And I have to say, he who seeks to find some greater soul to pay his debts will still remain a debtor. Dang. Yep. Oh my goodness. And it's also, once more I say, you are the cause that chains you to the wheel. The answers are found within yourself. There was another line in there that was very science of mind that I was just like, oh, okay. So clearly, Ernest had a fair amount of knowledge of Buddhism. And one of the things that I enjoy about Buddhism is Buddhism isn't a religion per se. It's more like a philosophy. Buddha is not a god. He was a teacher. He was not a god. And so when people mistake Buddha for a god and then they call Buddhism a religion, they're missing the point. It's a philosophy. It's a law. And that's one of the things about science of mind. Yeah, we're denoted as a religion, but we're not really a religion. We're a philosophy. We are a way of life. We are a way of moving through the world. Maybe we have far more of a Buddhist influence than... So maybe that's why Buddha got 2 chapters. All right, so we will pick up tomorrow with Hermes, Egypt and the Law. I don't know what that's going to be. So, but we'll pick that up tomorrow. But right now, I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day. A take care of business day, a wrap this week up day, a go dance in the rain day, a stay out of the thunderstorms day, a drink plenty of water day, a enjoy the cooler weather day, because summer's coming. A listen to something interesting day, a go enjoy some good music day, and eat something good for you day, and eat something that tastes good day, a cuddle your fur babies day, a tell somebody you love them day, a know who you are day, a good day. And if that's too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You are a beloved expression of the divine. You are spirit in motion, God in action, a brilliant light, a divine spark, a beautiful masterpiece, and a work in progress at the same time, at your own pace. And as Reverend Jesse likes to call this, you are a godling. All right. Did I say you were a beloved expression of the divine? I hope so, because I mean it. All right. Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I will be back with you around 9:15. I get to go to the park tomorrow, so yay. So take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.